off, and then I'll just ask a question after that.
Second, recording here.
And you're not stopping when I'm asking questions.
Exactly.
It's just running constantly.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, bam, good to go.
My name is Rick Ferris. I'm married to Daniela Ferris. We've been at Wildwood for about a year now, and we have 3 children, Juliana, Isabel, and Jackson. I grew up in a Christian home, probably like a lot of people that go to church in the South. My family was from the South, but we were military, which kind of created a little bit of a dynamic shift. My family had a tendency, as far as my understanding of God and kind of how they portrayed that to me, to be very punitive. It was very, hey, you sinned. Hey, you lied. Hey, you're bad. That's not good. You shouldn't do that. You were disrespectful. And they were right. You know, they were just holding me accountable to what I had done. And so I think what I did with that as a kid is I developed this lens where I felt like I was being judged all the time. I started to become judgmental. I like most people, strayed from the word and kind of went awry, I think, in college. It was in my last job before I moved to Tallahassee. I was in the middle of nowhere and I was lonely, I was depressed. One of the things that my mom used to do when I was a kid is she played stuff in the car all the time. Preachers, basically. And I couldn't remember the guy's name, but Indian guy. So I got on my computer and I just started looking online. I started Googling like Indian guy that preaches. I found out that it was Ravi Zacharias. And I started to saturate myself with this guy's teachings, Ravi Zacharias, because I needed more. I was still learning this information and starting to read the Bible daily, but I was seeing everything through the lens that I had developed over a lifetime. A good thing was happening, but I wasn't there yet. You know, I needed more structure. I needed more guidance. Right around that time, Eric and his family moved to be down the street from us in the cul-de-sac. Meeting Eric was a big deal for me because it was the first time I really was going to meet, I think, a Christian who was really capable of helping me find what I needed as far as some real meat behind the Bible and God and who God is. Wasn't long after that Eric talked to me about discipleship. To be honest, I was less interested in the community, more interested in getting equipped and getting knowledge and getting information. And that's why Eric told me that one of the major purposes was, and yes, community was a part of it, but I was comfortable with that because it wasn't a huge group. You know, I get to hang out with some great guys. Chip, Nate, and Josh attend with me. Guys that I've really come to appreciate and really, I guess I would say love, but don't take too much about that, guys. I care about you, but I don't want to be weird. We were not only talking about meaningful and relevant content, but we were having a meaningful discussion around not only what God's saying and what we were studying, but what everyone thought. And what's interesting about that is what I commonly thought was going back to my lens. You know what? Here's a prime example. When bad things happen, especially as it relates to me, I'm like, well, the devil's getting after me. And I think it was Eric. We were just talking one night and he just looked at me and he said, hey, Rick, do you feel like the devil's omnipresent? And I looked at him and I was like, well, no, only God's omnipresent. He's like, okay. So of all the people in the world, what are the chances that every time you have an issue, he's right there doing it with you? Is it possible that maybe that's your flesh and you're broken like everyone else is broken? And that's why you need Jesus. For the first time, I had to ask myself, I'm like, wait a minute, Rick, you're no better than anyone else. Like, you're just like everyone else. You're broken, man. You need Jesus. And I think that was a huge moment for me. When the group looked at me and challenged me and basically said, Rick, you said you're striving to be a better version of yourself. But is that what God calls you to do? And Eric said, Rick, what if your target wasn't you? What if your target was God? Should you be striving to be a better version of yourself? Or should you be striving to be more like God? And here's the thing. I understand, and the guys, this is part of the equipping process, that I'm never going to be God. I'm not God, nor will I ever be God, but I'm trying to grow to be more like him. When you do that, you put on a lens and you start to see the world, especially the more time that you spend in the Word, the more you get to know the Lord, the more you start to see through a God-like lens. And all of a sudden, you don't see the world the same way. I don't see my own behavior the same way. Our little one, Jackson, maybe he goes and he spills milk all over the floor. And I actually remember looking at him and going, shame on you. Shame on you? I'm like, I'm just as bad. Shame on me. But because of what I've learned, and because of what I'll call the equipping process, here's how I process that now. See, now I see it for what it is. What that does is it modifies my behavior, because now what I've learned is with redemption, part of leading the family is through apologizing and actually walking up to Jackson and being like, hey, buddy, you see how daddy just handled this? Your daddy's broken. I'm a sinner. And you're a sinner. And here's the thing. We both need Jesus. And daddy loves you. And I'm sorry for behaving the way that I did. See, because what I just did was define for him what a godly man looks like, what a godly man who's striving for God looks like. I fail all the time. Danielle, I know you're watching this. You know I fail all the time, but I'm trying, right? And I'm not trying to be a better version of myself. I'm trying to be more like God. Find a way to get yourself into a situation where you can be equipped as well. Find some help, get equipped, understand the need to get equipped, know the positive impact it's going to have on your community, the positive impact it's going to have on your family, the ones you love, and the ones that quite candidly are mean to you, because they need Jesus just as much as we do.